Morning, Nico.
I have a question. Is school going to be extended till, or closure extended till May 1st?
Yes, according to President and the governor. Yeah, so we're
Okay.
not getting back any time before May 1st.
All right.
The end of the third quarter is supposed to be April 17th, if I'm not mistaken. We've already extended that out, but I'm sure we'll be having meetings here this next week or two to figure out what we got to do up until May 1st. You got all your work turned in?
Uh, I can't do the mixture one yet because my pencil is gone, and I don't know where it went. So I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow to get a new
Okay.
pencil.
But you're not having any trouble uploading stuff and all that, right?
Oh no.
Because some people are claiming that, I don't know. I think they're claiming that they're helpless when they're really not.
And I just take a picture of it with my phone and turn it in that way.
Yeah, that's good. Seems to be the easiest thing to do. How many games did you play last night?
A lot. I stayed up till like 12.
Attaboy. Getting good at any of them?
Yeah. I screwed up my sleep schedule a little bit.
I bet. All right, since I got you on here, I'm going to experiment with something. Um, you can see my screen where it says "Good morning." Can you see my toolbar at the bottom when I'm scrolling through it?
Mm, no.
No. So if I would do what's on your screen right now, still the "Good morning."
Yeah. Good morning.
Okay. I'm just wondering because like if people ask a question, some of the worksheets I left all the paper copies at school. I just had the electronic versions that I uploaded. So I didn't know if I opened the page up where it is, my PDF, if that would screw up everybody's view. But so I got my email open right now. You don't see that. All you see is the "Good morning."
Yes.
Okay. See, everybody's learning. How's that clarity? Is that clear, or should I zoom better?
It's clear.
Okay. Morning, Patrick. Oh, no. Gosh darn it. Bear with me. That shouldn't have happened. There we go. All right, Patrick, you hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right, good. Did as you guys are logging on, did anything come up about a waiting room, that you're in a waiting room at all?
I don't know.
Okay, because Zoom is changing things too. There's put down like this waiting room thing so I can see who's trying to get in. But apparently, there's been like people not part of a class, and I don't know where, but I've heard no stories around here, but like just getting in and disrupting the class, being jerks because but they weren't invited. But I figure since we got a password, not many people are logging in my Google Classroom anyway, so I figured we'd be all right. But I didn't know if they set it up by default or not. Morning, Maddie. Maybe.
Good morning.
Are you there, Maddie? I barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. You having any trouble, Maddie, getting your work uploaded? Okay. Big thing is, I'm just hoping you guys get your work uploaded here by Friday. That because next week's spring break, so we don't have anything next week. And then we'll go from there. But Nico and I were talking school. We're out of school until May 1st, and then as we get closer to that, I'm sure they'll make their decisions what's going on with that. The third quarter, you know what? That reminds me, I might as well look at that right now. Third quarter got extended to April 17th, if I'm not mistaken, but let me make sure. Okay, that's Brian, good morning.
Yes, I finally got up on time enough.
How about that? I tell you what, you continue to impress. Any of you guys have questions on the worksheet or the notes from the mixture stuff?
Not really.
All right, I can't find it right now, so I'll have to look somewhere else. Oh, you know. All right, who's got an interesting story to tell us so we're not all sitting here in silence while I'm checking on the third quarter statistics for it?
Man, I'm just playing games.
All right, okay, multitasker. Good.
I have a question though.
All right, Sydney, what
Are
do you
we
got?
gonna so for the extra credit on the bathroom passes, are we gonna be able to have that extra credit or no?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Use the bathroom during these live streams.
Yeah, no one has to use the bathroom, so
Very good. Yeah, I'll let you use them. What we'll do, and I'm sure this will be a mess. I'll put an announcement up. You guys take a picture of it and you'll upload it
okay.
because everybody should have taken their stuff home from school anyway. I'm sure somebody will claim, well, I left it at school or something, but we'll see. No, but we'll do that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Oh, wait a minute. Brian, where are you going?
Upstairs to check if my thing
Okay.
is still open.
All
I
right.
might just lost it.
Nice cover up.
Yeah, Brian's going mobile. If you guys notice the background changing, and you got vertigo, don't watch Brian's screen.
Oh yeah, it's still there. I haven't lost my folder yet.
Good job, Brian. Yeah, that's a great question. That didn't even cross my mind. I'm going crazy today, just so you know. I'm going to all classes. We're going to Zoom. We'll see how much trouble we have. You guys seem able to get the Zoom down pretty well. Let's see what the other ones can do today. That's the extent of my excitement for the day. Oh, you know what? Well, I got you guys on here. That Nori, that website with the problems. How'd you guys like
Yeah.
that? Was it easy to navigate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'll probably be using that a little bit more when we get back. And the reason it is talking with a couple things is you only get 10 problems, but they depending on how you answer it, it puts you in a different direction. So it kind of can give you extra practice on something that you might not be picking up, even though you think you might have it. The way you answer the question, obviously if you get it wrong, then it can say, you know what, you might not have that concept down. Let's take a little bit of an extra practice at it. So those of you that did that I don't have that in there as well. I got to go through those and get you your bonus points off of that too, because I did offer that for bonus. Now, how many of you guys use the videos on it? Anybody? Patrick, raise your hand. Thank you very much. How many of you guys use, because there's a walk me through, and then there's a video. All right, so.
I don't think I used any.
No, okay. And you didn't have to. You're just, Brian, got your hand up. Brian, you got a question? You just answered my question.
I was just answering your question.
Awesome. Good. That's the one thing about the hand raising thing, making sure. I got to make sure of that too. Shoot, where was I? Oh, yeah. The third quarter goes all the way to April 17th. So we'll still have a few more things to do. We'll get that figured out while you guys are on spring break.
I heard we're not coming back to school.
Right now, the talk is May 1st.
Okay.
That's the only thing I know official. Everybody's gonna make their predictions, I'm sure. I don't know. It's prediction wise. I think these next 2 weeks will tell us a lot. You know, you hear on the news that it's going to peak here in a week or two in Ohio. So we'll figure that out as they go. Nobody's alluded to it yet that we're not coming back at all, other than, you know, the May 1st deadline right now. Morning, Cardi, McKenna. Let's see, you guys are in here. Frankie's in the house too. Maddie Stout. Hi. Cameron Logue. Oh, mystery man. Heard from you in a while. Hey, as some more people are getting on here, please make sure you're getting those assignments in. I haven't, in the grade book, all I put down, like after a little bit, I put missing. I'm not putting zeros in there because, again, everybody's got all these other classes. I'm giving you time to get them done. But this Friday, if I don't have anything, I am going to put zeros down. And doesn't mean you get a 0, but it's going to be like the wake-up call for people that aren't turning stuff in. They're going to look at their grade and say, oh my, I should be turning stuff in. So don't be alarmed. If I don't have it, I'll put a 0 in. Doesn't mean you can't do it. Just get it to me, send me an email, hey, what's going on, or whatever, we'll figure it out. And I'll easily change that once I have proof of it. But some people are taking advantage of the situation. So be a little bit prepared for that. If it says missing, I got it, and I still got to grade it. That's the one thing. If I have your papers, I can look at them and go through them pretty quick. It's not as quick trying to go through a picture or a PDF because I can't just flip the page and go through quick. So it's going to take me a little bit longer. So that worksheet 818286 that's due on Friday, give me a little bit of time, but I'll get it graded and get it sent back to you. What else we got in here? Anybody new? Well, let's do this. Oh yeah, I'm learning all sorts of stuff with this series Zoom thing. $11. All right, I think that's the max we've ever had. So we're tying our all-time high here in the Zoom class. Can we get 12? Brian, you doing exercises?
Oh, exercise? I'm just stretching.
Okay.
But I am losing weight, so good.
What's your secret? I seem to be putting on weight.
My secret is just, go out and do something.
But you
Don't
can't go
stay
out.
at home.
Gotcha. So me walking
Break
by
the
the
law.
counter and grabbing a donut, it's not doing something that's counterproductive?
I mean, what's it called? I don't know. What?
Gotcha. Good. I'll write that down and I'll try to practice that.
All right, thank you. It's early in the morning, so I can't really think well.
Gotcha. Okay. So you'd rather have our Zoom meeting at like midnight? Would that be easier for you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like it at
Possibly.
the I like it during the morning, so
I'm kidding. I'm not going at midnight, Brian. Sorry.
I know.
That gets into my Tiger King watching. You guys seen that Netflix series?
Oh yeah.
Everybody?
That's all my sister talks about.
I'm mad at myself for continuing to watch it, but it's also one of those things you can't stop watching a train wreck. So the fact that there are people out there like that is just boggles my mind, but it shouldn't surprise you. So anybody else who's come in a little bit later, any questions on the new sets of notes or that worksheet with the mixture problems and stuff? I'll tell you what, you guys are easy.
So for the mixture stuff, like the work stuff, it's kind of hard to like come up with a like an equation. Like, do you have like any advices in coming up with that?
My advice would be to make a chart. And with the mixture problems, your mixture problems usually result in you trying to get a new percentage. So you'll have that new percentage over 100 because that's a definition of percent. And then in that chart for the mixture problems, I'll just use the acid as my example. You know, we've got the acid amount. I know there's one, some of them are like a fruit punch or whatever. So, and then you've got the total. So whatever you're talking about over the total, whatever you start with, again, milliliters, liters, whatever, the acid, the punch or something is always a percentage of this. So this is a percent of the total. And then what's always going on in a mixture, you're adding something to it. And this is a percent of what's added. There we go. And then we get our totals. And then what's that do? That's the percent of whatever you're dealing with over the total amount. So percent over total is the same thing. You've heard, you know, percent over 100, part over whole is another way to set them up. So that would be my advice on the mixture. Does that sound understandable?
Yeah, that's more clear.
Now, in terms of the distance problems, it kind of depends on what you're dealing with. Are you trying to find, and I think most of the ones we talked about, you're trying to find a rate. But you've got, you know, we got one going upstream, we got one going downstream, you got one going against the wind, with the wind, but they all equal a total time for the most part that we've dealt with so far. So that one's going to be a little bit dependent on distance, rate times time. Sometimes if we know a total time, and I'll just use upstream, downstream for my example. No matter what it takes you to go upstream or downstream, together it's your total time that's on the river. So we can do that. So if it's time, distance, and if you're going up the stream, what happens? The current's against you, so minus something. You're going downstream, the current's with you, so you're going faster. So that'll be your rate plus something. And a lot of times that's your variable of X, and then equals our total time. Now, what if you're trying to figure out the rate? Well, then it's just going to be a little bit different. Or I'm sorry, not if you're figuring out the rate, if you're given the rate, I said that wrong. Then you're going to have time divided by distance. So this one's kind of dependent a little bit in terms of, am I given a total time or am I given a total rate? That one makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. And then finally, the work one. The work one, sometimes people is, you know, these are getting yourselves organized. The work one, people sometimes think about it as a rate. So for work, how much are you doing in 1 hour? So if it takes me 2 hours to do something, in 1 hour, I got half the amount of work done. That makes sense so far?
Yes.
So it's always going to be 1 over the total time it took me to work. That's my work rate. So if it takes me 12 hours to do something, in 1 hour, I got 1/12 of the job done. And we're partnered up with somebody else, whether I'm faster or they're faster. You know, somebody says, well, if he does it in 12 hours, I do it in 6 hours, then we add them up, divide by 2, and not so much all the time because you're not always getting that. So then the other person or other machine, because sometimes we'll use machines in these too. So that's how long it takes that to work, and that's going to equal, and this is where people get confused. It's the rate together. So 1 over our total work time. Is this the end all be all way to set these up? No. So some teachers might, if you talk to them about it, they might explain it a little bit differently. But I like this way because it translates into the first part of chapter 8, section 6 that we're doing in terms of those least common denominator things we had to find. That help, Brian?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
I will also, so if you need this to refer back to, I'm going to, once we're all done here, the one thing about the Zoom is it takes a little bit longer to download than a YouTube, but I will put this on our classroom so you can have this to reference back to as well.
Okay. Just to make sure, a round trip means that you go there and you go back, right?
Yes, yes, it does.
Okay.
So what else we got? Anybody? Any news? Anything new? Nothing, huh? All right.
Not for me. I'm just doing the same thing.
Okay. Once again, I'll remind you though, make sure you're getting your work turned in. That way I can put it in. If it says missing, I probably have it. I'm getting to it. If it, as of Friday, if I don't have it though, I'll be putting a 0 down. So understand that. I haven't seen anything from you That's what that 0 means. You can still get it turned in, but I got to start giving people other wake-up calls because they're not necessarily answering emails in terms of getting their information in. So send that wake-up call out a little bit. Brian, phone's ringing. Is that you?
No, it's not me.
Oh, okay.
I don't have that ringtone.
I got you.
It's like a pretty old one.
Frankie, you have a question, I see. Frankie, your hand's up. Did you have a question?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Good talk. All right, guys. If nothing else, I'll let you guys go here this morning. If you got questions, please make sure you're emailing me, asking me. I'll still go over stuff on spring break. So just because spring break, don't think you don't have anything to do. Looks like we're going to get a guest appearance here. All right, watch out, dude. There's a cat on the table. Go on. Thank you. Make sure you're getting your work turned in. Enjoy your spring break. I'd like to see that 8-6 worksheet by Friday, and then that 8-1, 8-2, 8-6. That one I'm grading for right answers. The other ones I'm looking for you to show me your work, that you're understanding what's going on. And again, on those that I'm sending out the answers with, yes, that's on purpose. It's to get you to practice the stuff, and then you can check your answers so you can kind of work at your own pace with those. And like I said in the Google Classroom, if you understand it after doing 2 or 3 problems, okay, I'm okay with that. You're learning now. Because here's the one thing in terms of an honors algebra 2 that this whole situation of not being in school concerns me with, is having you guys ready for pre-calc, since I think that's where most of you are going. In order to do that, that's where your self-discipline's got to come in and make sure you're doing these things. And if it takes you a whole worksheet to get it understood, okay, what's that mean? Nothing. It just means you need a few extra practice problems to do, but that's why they're there for you. But the more disciplined you're going to become with this, my concern is math, obviously, is getting you ready to get the pre-calc so you're up to speed where you should be in terms of next year. And, as we get closer to May 1st, whatever decisions are made, we'll go through the needed procedures and everything to make sure, you guys are ready for pre-calc. Questions, concerns for the good? Okay. I'm going to take 5 minutes here and sign off so I can get up and walk around. And then again, questions, shoot me an email. I'll make any big notices for everybody through the Google Classroom. Have a great day, and if I don't talk to you, before that, have a great spring break. Try not to get too bored. I will see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye. 7-6.
Get this working.